Go for Justin.
Hey, Justin, when you suffered that foot injury, I mean, it looked pretty gruesome at first. What were your thoughts when you went through it, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, just very thankful, like you said, that it looked a lot worse than it was. Feel pretty good out there. Got a huge shout out to Rick and his whole staff, David Glover, getting me back a lot sooner than I think anyone expected. So just happy to be out there and feeling really good.
What's the biggest thing for you going out for Hollywood?
Yeah, I think, at this point in the year, we're still just all focused on improving a ton each day. So that's been the goal since we got here in OTA, since we started training camp. And so that's really no different, as each of us are just focused on improving. And it was good seeing Hollywood in the building this week. And it seems like he's, going to do everything he can to get back quickly. So, that's it. We're just continuing to improve each day.
What stood out to you about Xavier Worthy, and especially just sort of his mental grasp of the game so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's lightning fast, and so to see him processing the game fast and allowing him to play with a lot of that speed was just really cool to see. Just good seeing him make smart decisions on that touchdown, recognize that there was no safety in the middle field, gave it a little stutter, and then took the grass. So just seeing him take huge strides each week, especially last week to this week, and I know it's going to keep going throughout the season.
Andy's complimented your knowledge of the playbook, just knowing every position. How much more comfortable you feel in year 3, maybe to year 1 here?
Yeah, I think that's always the progression. At first, you're just trying to figure out the plays on the sheet, and then after that, it's, okay, well, this is how the line is drawn on the sheet, but what do you have within the route that you can work with? And then, now in my 3rd year, it's really about getting on the same page with Pat. When I'm coming out of my breaks, knowing exactly where he's going to put the ball at, or in a certain play, how we're attacking the defense. So it's been cool just picking up where we left off, being able to point to some past year's film, say, hey, run it like you did last year against this team or that team, and just continuing to build with the relationship with Pat.
Justin, can you take us through that catch you made against the Lions the other day, what you saw?
Yeah. They played a lot of cover 2, especially on 1st and 2nd down, so right off the ball when we lined up, we knew that it wasn't man coverage, so it was probably cover 2, and just let Xavier use all that speed to blow out 3 guys, and I just found that spot right underneath him. So usually I'm the guy that's taking the top off. It was nice being the guy that gets the catch.
Justin, with your 3 years now and sort of the time in the NFL, do you feel a little more of a role as, maybe elder statesman's too strong, but in the receivers room with what you're supposed to be and do in terms of that?
Yeah, I've always just tried to be a leader in the room, even my first year here when I was just trying to get my feet wet. But yeah, like I said, it's just cool to, like I said, know what the coaches want, know what Pat wants, and be able to share some insight with these guys so that, they don't have to learn the hard way. So it's been fun coming in as the new guy, and then 3 years in, kind of found myself as the old guy in the room and the guy that's got a little more gray hairs here and there. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? But with Patrick, I think you described this as still kind of a, not work in progress exactly, but it seems like even as much as you've gotten to know him now, it's still a dynamic event to keep working with him and learn new frontiers, sort of. Is that way?
Yeah, I think it's part of the game is to stay on top, is not to just do the same thing year in, year out. Every year teams have new things to throw at us. We saw that last year, and we had to adapt in the middle of the year. We know that coming into this year that teams are going to have new stuff for us. So we're starting to plan some of those things out and just see what trends are happening in the offense and the defense throughout the league, and just adapt on those.
In that elder statesman role, and also just all-around complete receiver, a complimentary guy in that sense. Is there any of these young receivers that you see, maybe a young Justin Watson, a guy who can become that jack of all trades and be a glue guy in a room?
Yeah, I think top to bottom we've had a lot of good receivers. I look at, Sky Moore has been another guy that I think in his 3rd year also has evolved his role from just playing one position to knowing all the spots, being able to, something happens, somebody needs a water break, a shoelace or something, and being able to point to Sky and head in. And, Cornell Powell is a great example in the preseason the other day. He wasn't supposed to be on that play. We needed a sub for one play, and then he makes, the play the preseason with a great catch. So I think we've done a great job as a receiver room, not just learning one position or just our plays, but trying to learn the whole offense so we can be dependable.
A couple more. We'll start with Nate.
I'm sure you felt more comfortable going from year 1 to year 2. Can you explain just what that feeling is like, and if you see any similarities with what Rasheed has shown so far?
Yeah, to think where he was this time last year to where he's at now. I think even watching a couple of those plays, he caught a little 6-yard stick route, and before the ball was even in the air, he was already turning and starting to run upfield because he felt the space. Pat was already throwing him upfield, and you see a lot of those same things with him and Trav. So I think Rasheed is in an awesome place to see him, go from where he was at the end of last year and take a massive step to where he's at now. Has been cool to see. I think he's going to be a great leader for our room this year on and off the field.
Sam?
You mentioned earlier that last year you were the guy that had to run a lot of the vertical routes. Obviously, you guys got 2 pretty fast guys this year. I know Hollywood's out, but we'll be back. Do you anticipate that changing your role in year 3 here, running maybe more of some of the underneath stuff?
It just kind of each week we try to throw different things at the defense. I'm ready to run the deep stuff, run the short stuff, and everything in between. I think it's just nice to have another option to present the defense. We got 3 guys that are all fast that can take the top off the defense, so they don't know who exactly it's going to be on each play, and you got to respect, each one of those guys going on the field, because if you don't, we're going to take you up top.
Last one, anyone? All right, thanks, Justin.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.